Gustav, thank you so much. Yes, Tesla is pioneering in so many ways. And also, what I want to talk about is value and security of automotive over-the-air updates. I'm Timo Littke, Chief Analyst and founding member of ATS, Advanced Telematic Systems. We are a German solution vendor for Thank you. German solution vendor for over-the-air updates and remote flashing of cars. We are the first Europe product implementing the Obtain security framework, and we're working on creating the global open standards to keep cars securely up to date over lifetime. Why am I talking about it? Because 10 years ago, iPhone was released, the first one. And with the smartphone, we all became used to having over-the-air updates with our connected smart device. It's receiving updates of apps, of its operating system all the time, remotely through the SIM card or through Wi-Fi. And 5 years ago, Tesla installed the first ever software update for a car. There was no garage, no mechanic, no plugin of a diagnostic tool, no USB stick or CD-ROM. It just came through the cellular or Wi-Fi connectivity of the car itself. And then the user just installed it by tapping on its head unit. Since then, Tesla sold 250,000 cars enabled for over-the-air updates. They're doing it on a regular basis. So 2 years ago, they reached another milestone when they installed the feature called Autopilot, advanced driving systems, a functionality which was mind-blowing at this moment. And this week, they installed another remarkable over-the-air update when they enabled Teslas in Florida to get an additional range, like 50 kilometers, for a limited time, for free, to flee from the hurricane. When saying for free, this means Tesla invented a new revenue stream, which we call function on demand. And when they sold a car, when it has left the dealership already for $68,000, afterwards they were able to install additional features and earn up to $19,000, which is a plus of 28%, without installing additional hardware, just by installing software. But there's also the other side. Gustav mentioned it already, the security, the safety, the issues Tesla is also facing. And what they usually do, they also address those things with a software update over the air. But software recalls increasing over time. In the last 3 years, we saw dozens of recalls from nearly every manufacturer, affecting 1 million cars, 2.2 million cars, 1.4 million, 1.9, 4.3 million cars, just because of software errors. So this is also the situation that even if Tesla is pioneering and very aggressive, others follow to install software updates for ECUs. Not talking about maps or apps on the entertainment, but really updating electronic control units in the cars. And that's so interesting because it has a big value. So just for additional revenue, there's a forecast saying more than $7 billion annually for OEMs in 2022. And adding the cost savings, it sums up to a total value of more than $42 billion annually for the OEMs. So this raises interest of international stakeholders to push for guidelines. And we at ATS engage in many of these initiatives. If it's automotive-grade Linux or Genevi, Jasper, AutoSAR, all the software alliances, or even ISO, the standardization bodies, the automotive alliances, VDA, OICA on the global level, JAMA from Japan, but also the ministries, the national ones. The UK Department for Transport released cybersecurity guidelines. The Department of Transportation in the US, together with NHTSA, released several policies already for cybersecurity, considering over-the-air updates. The Federal Ministry of Transport in Germany. But very remarkable is that the United Nations even installed a task force for cybersecurity and over-the-air updates for cars, planning to release a guideline by end of this year, which then might turn into a United Nations resolution or regulation within 2 years, affecting more than 50 contracting nations, considering guidelines for cybersecurity and over-the-air updates. So as example, the Federal Ministry of Germany, the Ethics Commission, they published this year rules for automated driving, and they also mentioned that a car, an automated vehicle, ahead of every trip has to check over the air against the back end if the latest and most safe algorithms have been installed. If not, they have to be installed before the trip. In the US, not only the Department of Transport, but also the Department of Homeland Security considered connected cars as a potential national threat, saying update vehicle software is essential for safety and security, but also could be a key attack vector. Therefore, they funded an initiative called Obtain, where they brought together academia and research, New York University, University of Michigan, and the Southwest Research Institute, and on the other hand, the industry, OEMs and suppliers, to create an open source security framework called Obtain. This mainly focuses on the flaw to compromise software repositories, because attackers, they can do a man-in-the-middle attack inside out the vehicle. They could compromise ECUs in the vehicle. They can compromise keys used to securely sign updates. What they do with Obtain is they separate the duties. They create 2 repositories for the software update to combine resilience and flexibility. The one is the image repository, which use highly secure and compromise-resilient offline keys. With this, they sign all valid software packages for all their cars which could possibly be installed. But then they combine it with another repository, the director repository, using online keys, which give the OEM customization on demand, flexibility to say the specific software update should be installed on a specific ECU in a specific vehicle or across a specific fleet. By combining these 2 different approaches, they reach flexibility and resilience, and the car itself then ensures that both signatures, the metadata of both repositories really match, and only then install the validated, verified update. Other than that, this security framework also considers to integrate the full supply chain with a chain of keys to have the upstream also across all the vendors providing software, because software-defined car considers or integrates many different parties providing software. And very important, also supports verification not only by a primary, powerful, connected ECU in the vehicle, but also that a secondary, less powerful ECU in the vehicle can verify that this update is really secure. So, coming back to the smartphone, are we talking about smartphones on wheels? Yes, customer experience should be as seamless, as comfortable, as nice as with the smartphone. But we are also saying no, because those cars having a complexity which is not just a smartphone, but it's a bunch of supercomputers on wheels. It's different, the durability, lifetime of a car, warranty, guarantee, usage is much longer than with a smartphone. And functional safety and cybersecurity, with an automated car, we don't want to have it remotely controlled. We don't want to have it hacked. So therefore, we think OTA updates for cars have high value, but also require strong security. As I outlined, the concept of Obtain is what we at ATS prefer. Thank you so much, and hoping that it doesn't take another 5 years before we see more updates in cars in the future. Thank you so much.